Hi, welcome to Cherie's weight loss journey. I had to take a day off yesterday, right? Because I'm telling you, men, they don't take criticism well, you know. And of course, there was all of these, spiritual attacks and evil eye, because I told somebody, you don't like your job, and if you don't like your job, why not just give it to somebody else? So, anyway, I spent most of the day watching videos and, and for some reason, it was like, hey, you remember that that movie called A Streetcar Named Desire? And I was like, yeah, that was really sad for me. For me, it was really sad because, this lady, you could tell she was intuitive or psychic, okay? She was probably both. And, she was left to try to maintain a plantation by herself, okay? And the opposition, meaning men, were fierce. They were like, we're not even gonna help her. No, we're not gonna help her. Now if she get married, we might help her, right? And it was just like, are you serious? You can't be decent human beings and help somebody because they need help. You always got to, sexualize women. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm going to use it. You have to sexualize women, just to help them out, right? So that's one of the things that have been brought to my attention. Well, anyway, she ended up holding on to her virtues as long as possible, right? And eventually, she ended up losing, her family's plantation. Yep, she lost the family plantation. And where she ended up was at seedy hotels. And the only way that she could stay at seedy hotels was the kindness of strangers. Okay? So this is what men, think is justice. They think it's justice that if you don't become a wife slave, right, then you deserve to be cast away into a mental institution, a brothel, or find you some kind of man that you can be a slave to, right? And this has been going on for I don't know how long, right? I would want to say about 2,500 years. And a lot of times, they had, made us believe that it was an individual thing. You can end up in the institution, being forced upon one time. You could survive that one time, but maybe it's that 30th time that you was forced upon that just sends you over, that makes you feel like, life is not worth living. So yeah, This lady, she had a lot of idealisms, right? And the thing about it is I was just thinking, like when I was younger, right? And, you know, I had clocked all of these men. The only reason why they want to have money is so that they can have more money, more women, and more, options. Okay? More power. I was like, I don't want to go that route. Right? I met a lot of celebrities in my life. I lived up and down, the West Coast, and, and I've seen a many of stars, before they actually became, like household names. And, some of the people that I've dated, they know I met them, talked with them, and even sometimes when you're talking to them, and you're trying to see, you're trying to, let them know that you admire their skills, and, the bottom line that I got from the majority of these, celebrities that I had met was, kind of brought me to that song, how deep is your love for me? It is just like, huh? What? So of course I would, leave and say, oh yeah, thank you for the information. It was really nice knowing you, because, like I said, you mess around with, somebody that's powerful, they can really, mess your life up, mess your family's life up, pull strings with politicians, just because, you had boundaries to, your admiration for them. Okay? So, I was like, okay, they're training us that, we can't live in this world without a man. Okay. So if you get with a rich man, he got the notion that, you're going to have to share me. You might be the main woman, but you're going to have to share me because, I'm weak for the flesh and I feel entitled and empowered with my money and success and fame, popularity, to be able to, have all the options that I want. And, and you kind of looking at them like, hey, it's your world. I'm just out here, trying to get through this thing with my virtues. Keep my virtues intact, right? And that's why I had said, it escalated into the middle class, through comedy, through the bars, through the clubs, through, misogynistic groups and, cults, sororities, fraternities, clubs, and I'm like, okay, so one of the things that, I was venturing to think, right? I was thinking, okay, well, I had to investigate for myself, right? Is this really happening even at, say, lower economic people, society, right? Because in my mind, I was like, well, if you get with a poor man, he'll appreciate you, he'll be glad to, to love you and make his life, a beautiful place, make, working and, that daily grind, worth living, And it was, it was a shocker to me, because here I am, going to south sides of different, demographics, and I'm seeing that the poor are upholding this misogyny also. And I'm like, well, why would you uphold this misogyny when, your life is miserable? And it's because, that's the only thing that makes them feel bonded to the tribe of man. And I'm like, why would you think that that's, okay? And they don't really have an answer, right? I know one of the things that had really shocked me when I was talking to this one guy, and he was saying, I see you don't like it when I mannish. I'm like, mannish? What does that mean, mannish? Mannish, when men, are flirtatious and, go after, other women. And I'm like, that's what you think mannish is? Right? Because, I'm a forever student, right? I want to learn, what it is that you have been indoctrinated with, right? And so I'm listening, and I'm like, okay, so you feel that to be a man means that you go around, flirting and trying to conquest, women? Yes. And it could be, feminine or submissive men. And I was like, oh. So that's what you think mannish is, right? So, of course, I'm documenting it in my head and with Metatron that to them, they're still thinking with their lower extremities. And I know a lot of you have been wondering, what is your deal, Cherie? What is your deal? Why do you keep making this an issue? This is the problem, right? The problem is, if men don't stop this mannish type of behavior, I keep saying this, if men don't stop this mannish type of behavior, there's no way they're going to allow us to be intergalactic. No way. No way. Okay? And we have the majority of the population who want to be able to travel where no man has gone before, right? Then we have these other men who are like, they just want to stay here and, conquest as many bodies as possible, right? And in the process of them conquesting as many bodies, they also pass judgment on women for having a body count on them. And I'm like, yeah, but you the man, were the one that had inflicted these bodies upon this woman. How are you blaming the victim for the bodies that they have on them? You, man, we're saying, let's not have women in the workplace. Let's not educate the women. Let's not let women, be able to sustain themselves and force them to need us and tell them that they're supposed to be your protector and provider, even though they're not, you know, and then, you don't have a space or a place, for these women after you discard them, right? Because they don't keep them, even if they manage, to put up with them, right? Even if they can say, well, I have a ball and chain, but, she's not giving me no grief, so I guess I'll keep her because it's cheaper to keep her. Okay? So, yeah. Look at that pretty doggy. Ooh-wee. Yeah. So, getting back to what I was talking about. They don't want you to work. They don't want you to have money. They don't, they disrupt any type of unity amongst women, right? Using their wand most of the time, okay? Even if they can't, just outright be brutal. Even if they can't just outright, be brutal, then they'll use, sex as a weapon. So that's where they come in and, they'll have sex with everybody in the family, right? That's an automatic, mind fuck. If ever you ever had one, right? I mean, cheating is one thing, and you say they cheating with, somebody somewhere, off in the distance that you don't even know. That's bad. But can you imagine, when, in your house or in your family, the same man, has penetrated, your family members, right? It's enough to just make you feel like, because, people get affected by it in different ways. Some people, yeah, it may make them feel bad, and then, they just move on. While, other people, they may have different feelings, they may have, felt like, this could have worked out with that person, or this person is in search of, what actually, makes them happy. But, that's really not the intent. The whole intent was to, weaponize his lower region to cause conflict and chaos, within these families. And so this was another thing that had happened, was a lot of the men, purposely, okay, on purpose, with purpose, would marry the educated women, right? Now, they said because, they wanted offsprings, that would have a higher success rate, okay? But upon reviewing, what they had did was they did not allow, their educated wife, to actually work. They didn't. And it's just like, why did you do that? Why wouldn't you let your educated wife, once the kids are in school age, get out there and go to work? Right? And a lot of them, had answered, through, different videos, that they were scared that they were going to lose their wife to another man. And I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is wrong with you? Your insecurities are paramount, right? Paramount. And you would think that women would have more insecurities than men, especially since, women have been, forced to be dependent, upon men. Otherwise, they become, public enemy number one to a man. Okay? So, like I said, the main reason why we have to stop this behavior is if we decide to go intergalactic, they can't have men being mannish and having all of these intergalactic illegitimate offsprings. They just can't. They can't go into another species. Okay? They just can't. You guys got to stop this. Now, that's on one side of the coin. On the other side of that coin is the fact that on the other side of that coin is the fact that the methods that men are using to try to maintain the mannish culture is going to force the last seal to be broken, right? If you're going around here and you could say, oh, well, you just populating the earth. And it's like, no, your intentions is everything. You're not populating the earth if you purposely, go in with your wand, and have sex with all of the family members. That is not populating the earth. That is what we would call creating anarchy, chaos, and havoc upon a bloodline. And I know a lot of you keep thinking that people should be able to just walk away. Well, when you're being forced upon, you let me know. You let me know if you can just walk away. And then after you've been forced upon, you can also let me know if you weren't intimidated, threatened, and bullied afterwards. What would happen to you should you tell or try to incriminate this person who will tell you, you won't make it through the whole trial and I won't get convicted. I have homeboys, that I could give, $500 of drugs to, and that they would gladly take you out. Okay? And, this sinks into your head, and if this is what, I call some people cookers, right? The cookers are the ones that know how to, manufacture drugs, right? And if they're a cooker, then, yeah, there you have it. Okay? So I had to hurry up and get out the house, because it's another hot day today. Another hot day. And if I don't try to get out, then I'll end up not walking the same way that I did not walk yesterday. I took a vacation day from walking. Now, I still did my weights. Gotta smell good for myself. I still did my weights, and I just didn't go for the walk. And I didn't record a walk and talk video, but I did post a video while sitting outside, a very informative video. I think all my videos are informative, honestly. Stay. Hold on, please. Okay. I was seeing these ladies out here, and I was asking one lady, I was like, oh, you're getting ready to go out? And, if she was getting ready to go out, I was going to be like, can we go? I really was. I was going to act like it was a joke, but I was serious. But anyway, she was like, oh, no, she was renting her boat out, this weekend because they have, an event coming up, and that people are out here, renting boats to see the show. Hold on. So then, I started talking to her, and I was telling her that one of my dreams was to learn how to sail. And she was like, oh, well, we have classes here. And I said, oh, no, I'm not looking to, because the boats that I was looking at look like, even though these boats go out on the lake, I was telling her that, I'm not looking, to sail the deep blue sea. I just want like a little, like one-seater boat, to learn how to sail. And so anyway, I did learn some terminology, right? That they have two different types of boats. One would be called a butterfly, and that's the slower one. And then the faster one would be called a laser. And she told me that I can look up this particular website. And then her friend came along, and I was like, okay, I'm asking her friend, I'm looking to maybe learn how to sail, right? And they had informed me, well, I would have to pay a membership fee. And then, hold on. I would have to pay a membership fee, but sailing classes are available. So, you know, like I said, sailing, that would definitely be, a luxury goal, when I have, extra money, right? I may have the time right now, but I don't have the extra money right now. So, yeah. Um, so that kind of, brought back memories, and the memories that it had brought back was when I was a young teenager, and we didn't have a yacht, but we were associated with the Mediterranean Yacht Club, which I loved it because, when we would go there, I used to just go swimming, all the time. All the time. And my dad was like, you're like a fish, Cherie, you're like a fish. And that's something that I haven't really been able to do since I lost my gym membership. Because I usually, when I go and find a gym, I would usually find a gym that would have pools. Even when I used to travel, right, I would try to find, hotels or motels, that had pools that were actually operational or covered. Those are very, very great ways to get exercise that's low impact, and also very effective when it comes to intentional breathing. We're a society that is now starting to realize the magic of intentional breathing. That's why they will say, even if you're not exercising, to meditate and just do intentional breathing, right? Like, breathe in 4 counts, hold it 4 counts, and then release 4 counts. Okay? You'll be surprised that the intentional breathing, will have subtle but profound effects upon your health. That's why also, even if you may decide that working out is too strenuous, you can start by sitting in a chair. You can start by just laying down on your bed and breathing. Intentional breathing, right? Most people, they may feel like, uh, exercises that have an impact on their skeletal is difficult. However, most people can still use their arms, and you can do arm exercises laying down in the bed. I've seen it happen. I've seen people get great results, off of the my 600-pound life, because that's how they have to start their exercise. They start their exercise, basically doing nothing but arm exercises. And then they graduate to taking steps and, getting up and out of, sitting down and standing up, sitting down and standing up, just baby steps. And, yeah. Can I swing for a hot minute? I want to swing. I ain't swung in decades. Can you stay right there? Come here. Come over here. Wee. Wee. Come here. Wee. Wee. I like this swing here because it's strong and sturdy. Okay, outfit of the day. Yesterday, I had a protein shake and a salad. Still trying to finish up that Black Forest ham. This morning I woke up, I decided, I wanted to have some coffee, just plain coffee with creamer, because I kind of had stopped drinking coffee for a few days, and I thought it was a good thing to do, because it is, everything in moderation. Well, not everything. Everything that you do, you should do it in moderation, not anything in moderation. See, that's another thing that people get wrong, right? They think when it says everything in moderation, that means anything in moderation. And no, that's not what it means. It means the things that you do that you should do or can do, or just do it in moderation and you'll be okay. That's one of the things that I have realized of when, I had, was eating my breakfast, and that I was limiting my serving portions to like 1 cup, and then found out that was a serving size, right? That 1 cup was 100 grams. And I'm like, wow, wow. Okay, so getting back to the topic that I was speaking about earlier. Wait, let me finish my diet. So this morning, I cooked 4 boiled eggs. I cooked half of the chicken thighs that I had leftovers in the fridge, and I'm going to use that, for my meal for today, right? So I'll have my salad fixings already cooked, and then all I will have to do is, no, I better not say that. I was gonna say all I had to do is just toss that salad together, and I'm like, damn you, right? I can't say toss the salad no more because you done put some serious connotations on it. That's just nasty. Okay. So anyway, I'll be able to prepare my salad because I'll have all of the fixings ready to go, and all I'll have to do is just add all of the ingredients together. So I'm not worried about, what I'm going to eat today. I already know it's already set. Now, if I change my mind, because I believe my coupons for a discounted salad at Wendy's, either they're expired or about to expire. And yeah, I might want to do that. But then again, preparing your own salad compared to buying the salad is so much economical to prepare it at home yourself, because then you can have multiple salads, because I had did that challenge to myself, a couple of times. It was like, okay, I can buy a prepared salad for $8, and I gave myself the challenge, go to the store and buy salad fixings for the same amount. And of course, buying a prepared salad, you can eat for one meal, right? But that same amount can purchase like 3 or 4 days of salad. And I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but I don't eat salad that much, Well, you'll eat more salad, believe me, if you cut out the carbs. You cut out the carbs, you will gladly eat more salad and more vegetables. A lot of people are like, I can't live without, the carbs, right? And, I had kind of put myself through the test doing that when, I had made, that shrimp stir fried. When I made the shrimp stir fried, I was accustomed by habit of putting my stir fried over either some steamed rice or noodles. Okay? But because I'm on my diet, let's see how I look. Because I'm on my diet, I was like, no, you're not going to eat it with salad. With rice, nor are you going to eat it with noodles. And if you are going to eat it with any kind of noodles, ooh, the water is brown. Wait, no, wait. Let me see if we can get some better water. No! Come on. I got water in the car for you. Brown water. What do they do? Take that water straight from the lake or something? So yeah. And to my surprise, because like I said, here's the strategy that I had used when I'm, for my weight loss. First of all, I had to wrap my mind around just the idea of telling myself all of the things that I was going to have to stop doing. And all of the reasons why I had to stop doing it. Right? Every health reason. Right? And then I had to also, use counter logic to the excuses such as, I'm just getting old. I've always been overweight. I'm hypoglycemic because, you had thyroid cancer and you had your thyroid taken out. I'm older now and my metabolism is slowed also. And I don't have the finances, because I was a vegetarian in my early 20s for about 4 years. And the route that I had taken to be a vegetarian was more expensive. Starchy and processed foods are the cheapest thing you can buy that you can consume. And then next would be sugary stuff. But starchy, processed, and sugary foods are the cheapest foods. Right? So, yeah. Because I went from, giving myself, the best of foods when I first started, becoming a vegetarian, the freshest of foods, restaurant prepared salads, and it was great, because back then they didn't really sell salads, at your fast food restaurant. Your fast food restaurant was limited in its selection of food. And it kind of surprises me now that, who is that, Burger King? I mean, that's the only place that I even heard had a veggie burger. I was like, ooh, a veggie burger? Right? So that's another thing that I want to learn how to make, is a veggie burger. But I did, had a video where I just did my shopping haul last week. And of course I bought some shrimp. I bought some ground turkey. I bought some chicken thighs. So these are the things that, I'm going to have to use up, this week. And maybe next week, that's where I'll start venturing into more novel things like, veggie burgers. I kind of assume that it would be the same thing as when, you would cook like a tuna patty or a salmon croquette. I'm assuming that it would be similar. You just have to figure out, the ingredients, to use, to keep, the beans, the mashed beans, together to form a patty, right? Because one of the things, and part of the reason why I'm not doing the tuna croquette or the salmon croquette is because, I'm also, staying away from fried foods or foods that are, coated with, breadcrumbs or, just the added calories that, I don't really need. Go ahead. Or that might, go ahead. Or that might, stimulate me to, or trigger me to indulge in foods with carbs, and don't think that even when I'm eating, say, my meat and vegetables, that it doesn't cross my mind, that it would be easy, to just put it in a tortilla and, call it a day. And I mean, one time I was thinking about tortillas, and I'm like, oh yeah, tortillas, they have, 6 grams of protein, Then I seen some other, some other tortillas that was low in carbs. And then they have a way where you can actually, cook egg whites, into a crepe and basically call it an egg tortilla. Okay? And so it's like, yeah, there's so many options. This is so beautiful. I'm telling you, this is so beautiful. And hopefully by next year or something, I'll be able to come down here and, I'll be able to come down here and, maybe learn how to sell. And even if I don't learn how to sell, maybe I'll buy me one of those one of those I don't know what you call them, but they got 2 people out there right now that it looks like they're standing on a surfboard, but they're paddling while standing up. I was cleaning out one of my closets, and I think, I'm not sure, I'm going to find out later if I have found my inflatable canoe. Because I had bought an inflatable canoe. And I didn't really, well, I did use it sometimes. I remember in 2020, I was floating, well, canoeing, or whatever you want to call it, you know, on this particular lake right here, Lake Ray Hubbard. And, you know, it was great. The only thing that I really didn't like about it is a lot of these lakes, you know, have, some of them even have trees growing under the water. And if you're on an inflatable, you know, it could become problematic. So yeah, I did my walk, right? Talked about my diet, you know, some ambitious menu ideas in the future, and you know, now getting back to, you know, what I was talking about, right? I had seen, you know, because I met basketball players, you know, and I know, you know, they were like, hey, you want to be a basketball wife? I was like, no. No, right? Because in my mind, if you're cheating, you know, that could be my death sentence. You know, ain't no telling what you gonna run up on without even knowing. You know, and and this was like, shoot, 20, 30 years ago. You know, before I moved here to Texas, because I've been in Texas almost 30 years now. And I really think I should try to become a part of the senior rowboat club. You know, because, you know, I'm just not, you know, I think I would prefer actually, you know, getting that workout rather than, you know, sitting for the ride and feeling the wind in my hair. Even though I like the wind a lot, okay? You know, just like when I used, like in California, you know, instead of, you know, just, you know, taking a boat ride, you know, it was like my preference, you know, to do those, I forget what you call them, you know, but you get on the boat and you kind of are like riding a bicycle to for mobility. Yeah. So getting back to what I was talking about, as I started going into, you know, let's just say lower economic regions, there was a whole different kind of cult of man, right? These men, like I said, they believe what mannish is supposed to be, which is, drinking, drugging, and promiscuity. But, they will also, want to have a wife, to sustain their image in society, right? Because you best believe if a man has a wife, when he goes into the interview, he's gonna mention, I have to provide for my wife and kids, or, I have to provide for my family, right? And this is something that a lot of women won't utilize in their interview. They won't utilize the need to provide the words. Let me rephrase that. They won't use words to say, I need money, so I can provide for my family. Why? Because women think that that's obvious. If you're providing for yourself, of course, you're also providing for your lifestyle. And if your lifestyle includes partners and kids, there it is. But men don't feel like they should not be given a job if they tell an employer that they have a family to feed. So that's one thing I do recommend women to start doing when they're in interviews, is to start letting the interview panel know that you have a family to support. Right? These are just words, and these are just selling tactics, and you just are expressing, openly, a need to provide for your family. Right? Because just those words alone, you can best believe they will pass up a single person with a degree to give it to somebody that they may feel is in need. Okay? Now, I had to get that one off my chest. So this is what I had found out in the working class environment. In the working class environment, you'll find gambling, alcohol, drugs, if not actual porn, then a lot of sex talk, amongst the men. And I know you're like, what do you mean gambling? You think, well, some will have private speakeasies. Some still run numbers, right? Those football pools, those, baseball pools, but that's gambling. Throwing dice, they'll even gamble when it comes to games like spades, and they still play poker. inside of working class homes, even if they're not going to the casino and gambling. Outwardly, it looks like a friendly game, but on the table, there's cash. It kind of ups the stake and makes the game worth playing. And I know some women are like, well, if we agree to this, what's the problem? Like I said, well, first of all, there's evolution, right? The evolution of wanting to have intergalactic space travel. That's first. Second of all, welfare, SSI, retirement, and pensions are all under reform. All of them, they're under reform. Even though they want to say, well, we'll revert back to fault divorces. Well, that's interesting that they think that is a solution. How is that a solution to have fault divorces when the men, they're not marrying the women? They're entrapping the women, right? Just like a video that I was watching yesterday, it was about a young man, and he sounded like he was making, common sense. He was talking to other men, on how they need to, get focused and stop, running with these bad crowds, stop, abusing your body, stop, squandering your pearls among swine. That's not just for women, right? Because he talked about how some of his buddies, they had all of the potential in the world to be successful athletes, but, they ended up, having children on the planet that, they're not associated with, and, totally disconnected from their illegitimate children that they have produced out here on the planet. And that could be a type of karmic soul ties that you not only have with the woman that you were dealing with, but also the children that you had created. Most men who think that they could, have all of these children, in my opinion, and have all of these, sex partners, in my opinion, that is your wealth. You have determined that is going to be your wealth. That is how you're going to be rewarded. You're not going to be rewarded in actual wealth. Your wealth, like I said, has become, on that sociopathic level. Okay, so anyway, I am glad that I got out and I went walking. It was fun, and I'm headed back to the house. later on, you know, I might do another walk. I'm not sure. The temperature gauge on my car says it is 83 degrees. It's 1 p.m. So it's gonna get pretty hot today. You know, by the time 5 o'clock rolls around here, we might just hit 90. So thank you for watching Cherie's Weight Loss Journey, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.